She's laying in a hospital bed, dying. She was dying.
They had brought me back to essentially say goodbye to her.
I'm here for a reason. Something made me fight to stay alive. You're either going to give up or you're not. I opened my makeup bag and I said, how can I do this? I tried and tried and tried. It was very difficult. I started to learn little tricks. Oop. Trying to get a good angle to get it.
You want me to get it?
I think I can. I'm always dropping things. That's the story of my life.
But it wasn't always Deb Kelly's story.
I worked for CBS in Baltimore as a editor-producer.
We were a very close-knit group.
You see your workmates more than you see your family. So you become a family.
We did 2 European vacations together. We went to Italy. We went to San Diego.
Deb looked forward to more travels and planned to retire in the summer of 2017. She'd spend part of the year with her sister Michelle and part with her stepdaughter and grandchildren, focused on her hobbies and her family.
She adores them. She does. You know, she kind of took the place of my dad when he passed away. They loved looking at all things fishing, hunting. You know, they had a really special bond.
I love to swim in the ocean and do things at the beach and crochet and knit and sew and do crafts with the kids.
She builds things. She built a banquette. She built lamps. She found a lamp that she wanted, and instead of, trying to find it, she built it. She does everything herself, and I miss watching her do that.
Easter Sunday of 2017.
We got up, went to church. She helped cook Easter dinner with me.
That evening I was not feeling well. I think I was kind of battling a little bit of a cold that week. I don't even remember that, to be honest.
I woke up the next morning, she had left a note. She had this little whiteboard in her room where she would leave my son notes because he came down every morning. She left him a note saying she didn't feel good and she went to the hospital.
We thought maybe you were dehydrated, maybe it was the flu. We really had no idea. And that was 9 o'clock on Monday night. And on Tuesday morning at 7:30 a.m., I received a call that said she's going on life support. And so when I got up there, she's, on the ventilator, completely unconscious.
That whole day was like an up and down. This organ's failing, that organ's failing. They put her in some machine that flipped her on her stomach because they couldn't get enough oxygen.
And then when the doctor said, okay, we're gonna hook her up to dialysis, is when then everything really started crashing.
Amy called in the car and said, Har, I got some bad news. She said, Deb is critically ill. And at that point, I pulled over.
It was surreal. It was shocking. And you almost have to shake your head and say, wait a minute, what are you saying to me?
They read her last rites. I got down in her ear and I said, I do not want to go home and tell your grandson that he lost you, so I'm going to need you to fight this one.
I do remember waking up at one point and seeing my hands were bent over, sort of really, and they were black. It was strep A invasive, which some people carry it on their skin, but if it gets into your bloodstream somehow, then it wreaks havoc. I remember Michelle having to tell me, Deb, they have to amputate.
She lost both hands and both legs.
Oh, that's so good. There were those nights, when I would just sit there and say, I would cry. I asked Michelle one time, do you think I would have been better off dead? And she brilliantly asked a question with a question and said, do you think you'd be better off dead? And I thought about it and thought about it, and I thought, no. I'm here for a reason. Something made me fight to stay alive. I just have to keep retirement in mind, try to continue and follow the plan that I had. It's just being put on hold right now. My husband passed away in 2014. My father passed away in 2016. He also had cancer, and then my mother passed away a year later. We had a brother who passed away in his 50s. And it's just us. Yeah, that's better. You have, like, see this piece here? If you pick this piece up, and I don't know what I would do without her.
Oh, that was a little.
No, but that's you're getting there. You're getting there.
Gee, thanks,
Definitely
Deb.
getting there. I don't think I realized what an independent person I was until this happened.
You love her?
Mm-hmm. Through it all, her family helps her make the best of her new reality.
I love you. My paws. My grandchildren call these my paws. The little one will say, "Can I hold your paw?" So cute.
And it isn't long.
What do you think? Bionic woman?
Until smiles and laughter.
I'm walking. I can't believe it. I couldn't do this yesterday.
Come more easily than tears.
I'm dancing. Oh, the smell of the salt air is wonderful.
Nice hand there on the right.
I know.
On the right side.
It has to be backwards. It's protecting my paw. It'll be very strange to look down at different hands because, you know, and especially as a woman, filing my nails and doing my nails, you know your hands.
This is our first bilateral hand transplant at Duke and in North Carolina.
I found out June 19th that I was definitely a candidate, and I've just been so thrilled and happy since then. How are you? Nice to see you. Dr. Sendalis needs to find a woman close to my age, close to what they think the size of my hands are in relation to my arm length and all that sort of thing. Anything else? Skin color, hair color. The hair on my arms is blonde. I have some freckles. Yeah, because I know they try to look for the perfect hand. Okay. All right. Thank you.
This is a complex procedure that only few places in the world are able to perform.
Dozens of doctors, nurses, and therapists will take part in the procedure, which is part of a clinical trial.
The hand is many, many bones, many, many muscles. I think it's the most complex structure mechanically in the body.
I wait by the phone. Dr. Sandala said, you pack a bag before you get on the list, because when I call you, you pick up that bag and go.
She is constantly conscious. Her hope depends on another family's loss.
The woman who is going to donate her hands to me is alive right now and walking around and doesn't know. And I pray every night for her and for her family.
Dr. Sendalis told me she's talked to you already, so you know we have a donor for you.
Yes.
We got that call and we headed over to the hospital, arrived about 4:30.
So serendipitous that it is happening, because the actual surgery will be happening on Thanksgiving Day. So it's incredible. I mean, I have so much to be thankful for.
I was not nervous. It was excitement and happiness, and that was more of it. And Debbie said she wasn't nervous either, not a little bit even.
It's 2:15 a.m. and I am about to be taken into the OR for the big transplant.
The surgery took 14 hours. We rotate among the teams.
So one team of 3 surgeons did the right, one team of 3 surgeons did the left. On one side, they did a little bit of bone shortening to make all the tendons work. On the other side, they also did muscle transfers just to make everything balance out.
She's a trooper. How are you feeling? I am excited beyond belief. Like, I just can't wait until she opens her eyes and realizes that, you know, it actually happened. When I went to see her when the hands were attached, I was just overcome with emotion. It was amazing. I knew that that was life-changing for her. It's been tough. It's been a tough road.
Dr. Sendalis, when she woke me from the surgery, she looked at me and said, "You have hands."
Okay, I'm gonna just exercise your elbow just a little bit.
Dr. Sendalis said, when she puts the last stitch in, they are officially my hands. Now they're my hands.
She was moving her fingers a little bit. It was still just amazing.
Now I can, if my head scratches,
look.
Scratch my head.
You could push up your glasses.
I can push up my glasses. Yay! I have hands that move and that I can feel them. I can feel the muscles. I don't have any feeling yet. That takes a long time. But I have hands.
And then back. Back with the wrist, curl the fingers in.
It'll be 2 weeks tomorrow, and I'm able to move this.
Awesome. Initially, what we're looking for is her to take control of her hands. Nice.
And the thumb. I have to really concentrate
Yeah,
on that thumb.
That's right. How are you going to catch a ride without that
I
thumb?
know.
Yeah, you're doing fantastic.
Okay.
Flex.
Back.
There you go. There you go.
Oh, there goes the thumb.
Nice.
Yeah, okay.
That's great.
My brain has to relearn having hands.
Even though they're there and they're attached and the surgery went perfectly, because there's changes on the sensory motor cortex, even though you're saying move finger, it doesn't happen. When you have a tendon transfer, you're essentially using a muscle that didn't used to do that function for a new function. So you had to learn a little bit more on the left because she had to say, instead of, oh, I'm going to extend my wrist, now that muscle does finger extension, say.
It's absolutely remarkable. It's beyond remarkable. There's no word to describe, really. Today I'm getting a different kind of cast.
The splints that we make, some of those can be really, really complex. We have these outriggers and all the pulleys and wires. See how it works?
Okay.
So, which will just connect you up here. So we get the proper pull on each of your fingers, and then what I want you to try to do is bend your fingers. There you go. Keep going. Go, 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 go. Try to hold it, keep it there, keep it there, keep it there, keep it there. Great. Relax.
Wow.
Nice. Let's go again. Pull down. Pull. Don't let it pop up. Hold it, hold it, hold it. Bend. Go, 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 go. Hold it. Try to hold those two. Keep them there. Nice, nice, nice. Relax.
Okay.
Oof.
Oof.
Nice.
She embraces the hard work, never forgetting the donation that made it possible.
Before I went into the OR, I said a quiet little prayer to myself for the family. What was really going to be such a wonderful gift for me was, you know, a terrible thing for them. Hands are very intimate, and to think that maybe your loved one's hands are going to be somewhere else, that's a big, tough decision, I would imagine.
When they're in a place of such grief and shock, it's just amazing to see how they can stop and think about helping somebody else. I am President and CEO of Carolina Donor Services. We facilitate the process, the entire clinical process when there's an organ donor. The traditional transplant of organs, kidneys, eyes, people know a lot more about that. There's a very good chance that when we're talking about something like hands, someone doesn't realize that's a possibility. And because it's not as common of an occurrence, these are very special and unique transplants still, we do have a very special, sensitive conversation about if they feel like this is a good fit.
It amazes me on so many levels that a family would agree. Now that I'm doing more, it's really showing. And therapy is so much fun. Did you put more blocks in there?
Maybe.
You did. I knew it. I knew it. It's hard. It's as hard as they kept warning me.
I think we've been lucky in that Deb is perhaps the ideal patient for this.
It's been great to have somebody like Josh. We do get along. We laugh a lot. We listen to music. We make it fun. So he bought me a tabletop cornhole as part of therapy. So I can keep in practice.
Deb's personality really helps all situations. She's intrinsically motivated to do well. I think that if I wasn't there, she'd still be coming to clinic and working.
Okay, that's more like it.
Yes, exactly. Come on.
We're spending 4 hours a day together, 5 days a week. And I think he's terrific. So thank you, Josh.
You're welcome. It's my pleasure.
Even though he tortures me, it's fine.
It's a love-hate relationship.
I need to be independent. I need to be able to do things myself. Sometimes I spill water and I drop things, and but it's part of it.
To just see her, how her life changed, because her life changed, is not only rewarding for me, but for our entire team.
Are you guys having fun? Are you hungry yet?
For Deb, the rewards are simple.
Go back here and I'll wait when you get hungry.
Ask Rocky and Chase.
I got to play with my granddaughter with her little figurines. Hey, Rocky and Chase.
What?
Are you hungry?
I was in the grass.
Oh, you were in the grass. Just play with her and touch her face and touch her hair.
Rocky, are you Frosty?
She doesn't call me the amputee, but
3 months after the transplant, Deb arrives at Duke surrounded by those she loves the most. Not as a patient, but as a guest of honor.
To see her today is just unbelievable for us.
I saw her for the first time yesterday, Deb, and it's like, oh my God, you have fingernails. You have fingers. It's just wild.
I was very excited to see her. She sent me pictures, but it's not the same when you see her in person.
A little water got in the palm of my hand and I felt it. I felt the cold.
OR nurses, we don't really see our patients when they leave. To come back months later and to see Deborah Kelly with her hands and to see her story and to hear family members speak about it is such an honor to be a part of that.
And what stood out for those who took part in the historic operation was Deb's concern for them at such a crucial point in her own life.
She said, I feel so bad you guys are here on Thanksgiving and you should be with your families. And kind of everybody in the room just together looked at her and was like, no, like don't feel that way, please. We 100% all want to be here for you.
Yes, a Thanksgiving to be thankful for.
It's startling to see people without hands. I was watching the video of the story that WNCN did for me, and looking at myself, it was startling. I don't even remember what it was like to not have hands. These have become such a big part of me.
We see how she can bounce back. She is a survivor. She's taught us a lot of lessons.
I would not have imagined a person under those circumstances to come up and be so positive in any single way. Like any type of situation, she always finds a positive. And look at where she is now, like just absolutely living her life.
Come here, give me a hug. I love you, baby. I love you so much. Oh, and I miss you.
She celebrates the things we all take for granted.
A proper hug with hands. It's different. It is different. Oh, I love you. I miss you. Mwah.
The morning routine that looked like this just a few months ago is getting easier.
Brushing my teeth is very easy. I can just grab the toothbrush and go. I can pick things up. I can pick up a cracker. I couldn't do that before. Try to put my wrists together, you know, to do that. Yeah, I mean, it's terrific. Yeah. The other. Yummy, thank you.
And while it isn't exactly the retirement she envisioned,
The prednisone is the morning, right?
Yes.
Deb's story is nowhere near finished. Her dreams are within her reach.
Being able to stay in my place by myself and not have to worry about anybody taking care of me. I know that'll be down the road. Being able to drive there by myself, go to the grocery store, that sort of thing. Go to the beach, of course, sit in a chair, watch the kids play in the sand and in the ocean. I love that so much that if I can do that, that would be pretty awesome.